Talk to 10 people about keeping their kidneys healthy, and 9 of them will give you the exact same advice. Drink plenty of water, go easy on the sodium, and look, they are not wrong. Both of those matter, but they cover maybe a quarter of the real picture, and the part that almost nobody mentions is the part that happens after you fall asleep. Here's what your doctor probably never had time to explain. Your kidneys perform some of their deepest repair work overnight, during a window when your blood pressure is supposed to drop, and the pressure on your filters finally eases. What you eat in that last stretch of the evening either feeds that repair or quietly fights against it. And once you pass 60, this becomes more important than almost anything else you do, because kidney damage does not announce itself. A struggling kidney sends no pain signal. By the time it shows up in routine blood work, you may have already lost a third of your filtering capacity. And unlike your liver, kidneys do not regenerate. What is gone stays gone. 1. Have spent over a decade helping patients catch this before it becomes irreversible. So tonight, I am walking you through the fruits you should be eating in the evening that actually support your kidneys while you sleep. A few will be familiar, a couple will catch you off guard, and one of them is a fruit that people with kidney concerns have been warned to avoid entirely for a reason I am going to walk through with complete honesty. At the very end, I will give you a 2-minute bedtime recipe that combines the safest of these into a single glass. Before I go any further, I want to speak directly to the person watching who is worried they have already waited too long. I need you to hear me. Even kidneys that have lost real ground can be stabilized. I have watched patients in their late 70s hold their kidney numbers completely steady for years simply by taking the pressure off those filters and giving them the right support. That window is not closed for you. That is why I make these videos. I want you moving well and feeling strong long past the age everyone expected you to slow down. Everything I walk my own patients through, the foods, the timing, the small daily adjustments that actually shift the numbers, I put into a simple plan that has already helped thousands of people over 60 take back their energy. If you want it, the link is right there on your screen whenever you are ready. Now, let us talk about what is actually happening inside your kidneys, because once you understand the machinery, every fruit on this list will make complete sense. Each kidney holds roughly 1 million microscopic filters called nephrons. At the center of every nephron sits a tiny cluster of blood vessels called a glomerulus. That cluster is the actual filter, the thing that pulls waste out of your blood and keeps the good stuff in. You are born with every nephron you will ever own. Your body does not make new ones. So, after 60, this whole game comes down to protecting the filters you still have. 2 forces destroy those filters faster than anything else. The first is pressure. When blood pressure stays elevated, it slams against those delicate vessels the way water pounds through a garden hose cranked to full blast. Over years, that hammering scars the filters closed, one by one, permanently. The second is oxidative stress. Think of it as a slow rust forming inside your cells, the same process that turns a sliced pear brown on the counter. A kidney under sustained pressure and heavy oxidative load is a kidney quietly losing nephrons every year. Here's the part that almost nobody covers. Your blood pressure is not designed to stay flat around the clock. In a healthy body, it drops by 10 to 20% overnight. Researchers call this nighttime dipping, and it is the kidney's recovery window. People whose pressure fails to dip at night lose kidney function measurably faster. That is established clinical data. So the purpose of what you eat in that last hour is straightforward. Help the pressure drop, slow the rusting, and avoid dumping extra work on the kidneys right when they are trying to recover. Every fruit I'm about to give you earns its place by doing one of 3 jobs during that overnight window. It delivers antioxidants that neutralize the oxidative damage attacking the glomeruli. It carries plant compounds that relax blood vessel walls and encourage the natural nighttime dip. Or it works upstream on the gut, on uric acid, or on the urinary tract to lighten the kidney's load before it ever reaches the filters. Nearly all of them are low in sugar and gentle enough to eat at night. I say nearly because there is one important exception, and I will be straight with you when we get there. Number 1, blueberries. This is the cleanest starting point on the entire list. The deep blue color comes from a pigment called anthocyanin, and anthocyanins rank among the most potent antioxidants ever measured in food. For your kidneys, the connection is direct. Anthocyanins neutralize the oxidative stress that scars those tiny filters. Research consistently links diets rich in these pigments to lower inflammation and healthier blood vessel function. And your kidneys are, at their core, an organ built from blood vessels. Protect the vessels, and you protect the filters. Blueberries also earn the evening slot because they are low in both potassium and sodium, which makes them safe even for kidneys already under strain. Keep that word potassium in the back of your mind. It is going to surface again later in a way that changes the whole conversation. Half a cup before bed is the right dose. Frozen works as well as. Fresh and frozen berries are often picked riper, so the pigment content is actually higher. Number 2, cranberries, and nearly everyone gets these wrong. The reputation for fighting urinary tract infections is earned, but the kidney story goes deeper. Cranberries contain a compound called an A-type proanthocyanidin that physically prevents bacteria from latching onto urinary tract walls. That is not folklore, that is the mechanism. It matters for kidneys directly because urinary infections that travel upward are of the real underappreciated ways healthy kidneys sustain lasting damage. Every infection you prevent downstream is stress you spare upstream. Skip anything labeled cranberry cocktail. That is sugar water. A small spoonful of unsweetened dried cranberries or a splash of pure unsweetened cranberry juice diluted with water is the right move. A little goes a long way overnight. Number 3, red grapes, and the color is the entire point. Reach for the dark red and purple varieties. The skin is concentrated with resveratrol, one of the most studied molecules in aging research. For kidneys, resveratrol calms inflammation and helps blood vessel walls soften and widen, which is exactly what you want as your body prepares for the nighttime pressure dip. Relaxed vessels mean lower overnight pressure. Lower overnight pressure means less grinding on the filters. Red grapes also contain a small natural dose of melatonin, the same molecule your brain uses to signal sleep. A fruit that nudges you toward deeper sleep is a fruit that helps your blood pressure achieve its full nighttime drop. Better sleep and healthier nighttime pressure are the same coin. Grapes are sweeter than berries, so portion matters. About 10 to 15 in the evening, eaten whole with the skin. Freeze them. They take longer to eat, feel like dessert, and keep you away from the ice cream. Number 4, the apple. It protects your kidneys through a side door almost nobody considers, your digestive system. An apple is one of the richest sources of a soluble fiber called pectin. When pectin reaches your gut, it feeds beneficial bacteria, and a well-nourished gut sends dramatically less inflammatory signaling into the bloodstream. Your kidneys filter everything in that blood. A chronically inflamed gut floods them with a constant low-grade burden. The apple calms the upstream end of that pipeline. Researchers have named this the gut-kidney axis, and it is one of the most active areas of kidney research right now. Apple skin carries quercetin, an antioxidant shown to protect blood vessels. Peel it and you lose most of that benefit, so eat it whole. Like blueberries, apples are low in potassium. A medium apple in the evening, sliced and dusted with real cinnamon, is ideal. Eat it an hour before bed so the fiber has time to work. Every fruit so far has been doing the same quiet work. cooling the oxidative damage, and easing pressure on the filters. The next 4 are where things get genuinely interesting, including one that does something for your kidneys nothing else on this list can do, and the one a lot of people have been told they should never touch. Quick favor before I continue. If this is the first time someone has actually walked you through why your kidneys need specific support at night, instead of just telling you to drink water and reduce salt, take a second and hit subscribe and give this video a like. And if someone in your life manages high blood pressure or diabetes, the 2 biggest drivers of kidney damage, send this to them. This is the conversation that gets skipped in a 12-minute office visit. Number 5, tart cherries. This is the real surprise, because tart cherries do something for your kidneys that none of the other fruits can. Sweet cherries and tart cherries are a different category entirely. Tart cherries are a serious kidney ally for one specific reason. Uric acid is a waste product your kidneys have to filter out every day, and when levels run too high, real damage follows. It forms the crystals behind gout. It is a leading cause of kidney stones, and elevated uric acid is now linked to faster kidney decline. Tart cherries have been shown to measurably reduce uric acid in the blood. That is a direct favor to the organ doing the filtering. Tart cherries also happen to be among the richest natural sources of melatonin in any food. The same melatonin that helps you fall into deeper sleep is the molecule that helps your blood pressure achieve the full overnight dip your kidney filters depend on. Lower uric acid and deeper sleep from one small fruit before bed. Use them as unsweetened dried tart cherries or a splash of pure tart cherry juice diluted with water about an hour before bed. Anything labeled cherry cocktail or cherry flavored is just sugar. The real unsweetened version is the one doing the work. Number 6, strawberries. They belong here for the same reasons as blueberries, with a few advantages of their own. Strawberries are dense with antioxidants, including ellagic acid and a heavy concentration of vitamin C. Together, these compounds target the oxidative stress wearing down your filters. They are also genuinely anti-inflammatory. Chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the engines that pushes kidney disease forward year after year. Strawberries are mostly water and fiber with very little sugar, which makes them one of the lightest things you can eat at night. You get a real antioxidant load without spiking blood sugar and without sitting heavy while you sleep. About half a cup to a cup of fresh strawberries in the evening, sliced, on their own, or with plain yogurt. Simple, light, and exactly what your filters want heading into the overnight window. Number 7, pineapple. Almost nobody recommends this one for kidneys, and it carries a tool none of the other fruits have. Pineapple is the only common fruit that contains a natural enzyme called bromelain, and bromelain is a genuine anti-inflammatory. It helps quiet the kind of widespread low-grade inflammation that slowly damages kidney filters, and it eases the digestive load, which means less metabolic traffic reaching the kidneys overnight. Beyond bromelain, pineapple delivers vitamin C and additional antioxidants from the same protective family we keep returning to. Pineapple is actually lower in potassium than most people assume for something this sweet and tropical, placing it on the friendlier side for kidneys already working hard. The trade-off is sugar, so portion matters. About half a cup of fresh chunks in the evening is plenty. Fresh or frozen is far better than canned, because canned pineapple is almost always swimming in syrup that undermines the whole benefit. Number 8. This is the surprise I mentioned at the beginning. Citrus, oranges and their relatives. The fruit a lot of people with kidney concerns have been told to avoid completely. I need to give you both sides honestly. The protective side is substantial. Citrus fruits are among the best sources of a compound called citrate. When citrate passes through your kidneys, it binds to calcium in the urine and prevents it from crystallizing into stones. Citrate is one of your body's own built-in defenses against kidney stones, and citrus replenishes it. On top of that, Oranges are loaded with vitamin C and antioxidants. For a person with healthy kidneys and a history of stones, citrus can be genuinely protective. So, why the warning? Citrus is high in potassium. For healthy kidneys, that is not a problem. Healthy kidneys clear the excess easily, and potassium actually helps lower blood pressure. But for kidneys already in decline, in the later stages of chronic kidney disease or on dialysis, those kidneys cannot clear potassium fast enough, and it builds up in the blood to dangerous levels. Here is the rule. If you carry a diagnosis of kidney disease or take a medication that affects potassium, do not add oranges or any high potassium fruit until you have asked your own doctor whether it is safe with your numbers. For the majority of people watching, citrus is a healthy choice. For some, it is exactly the wrong one. Only your own blood work tells you which group you belong to. Before the recipe, I need to draw a clear line. These fruits support healthy kidneys and kidneys under mild strain. They are not a treatment for kidneys already in serious trouble. If you are experiencing swelling in your legs or around your eyes, foamy urine, blood in your urine, a sharp drop in output, or pain below the ribs in your back, those need a doctor and soon. And if you carry a kidney disease diagnosis or take blood pressure or potassium medication, bring these fruits to your doctor first. Food is the foundation. It is not the entire building. Let me tell you about a patient I will call Gerald. He was 71, retired from teaching, walked every morning, and believed his health was solid. His blood work told a quieter story. His eGFR had dipped just below the line where we start watching closely, and his creatinine had quietly ticked up. He was stunned. No diabetes, barely any alcohol, and he had always assumed kidney trouble happened to people who did not take care of themselves. We did not start with medication. We started with his evenings. Gerald ended every night with salted pretzels and ginger ale in front of the news. That snack was hitting his kidneys with sodium and sugar right at the start of their recovery window. We swapped it. Some nights blueberries and sliced strawberries. Other nights an apple with cinnamon or unsweetened tart cherries an hour before bed. He kept oranges in the morning after we confirmed his potassium was safe, and he added a short walk after dinner to bring his blood pressure down before sleep. A year later, his eGFR had held steady. It did not climb back because kidneys do not rebuild what they lose. And I want to be direct with you about that, but it stopped falling. His blood pressure was the best it had been in years. For a 71-year-old kidney, holding the line is a genuine victory. Now, the bonus, the simple bedtime recipe that brings the safest of these into one glass. I call it the nighttime kidney blend, and it takes 2 minutes. Into a blender, add a small handful of blueberries, roughly a quarter cup. Drop in 4 or 5 sliced strawberries. Add a splash of pure, unsweetened cranberry or tart cherry juice for the urinary and uric acid protection. Pour in about half a cup of plain, unsweetened kefir or yogurt, which brings probiotics for the gut-kidney connection, and a little water to loosen it. Finish with a shake of real cinnamon. Blend smooth. It is low in sugar, low in potassium, concentrated with the antioxidants your kidneys want overnight, and it gives you something to reach for at night that works for your filters instead of against them. Drink it about an hour before bed. A couple of variations so you do not fall into a rut. On a sweeter night, toss in a few frozen red grapes before blending. If your stomach runs sensitive, skip the kefir and use water with the berries. And if you do not want to blend anything, a small bowl of blueberries and strawberries with a spoon of plain yogurt does the same core work. The tool is not the blender. The tool is the swap, replacing the late-night salt and sugar with the fruit. I kept citrus out of the recipe on purpose because of the potassium issue we covered. If your kidneys are healthy and you have been cleared, keep citrus as a separate daytime addition. Here is exactly what to do tonight. 5 steps. 1. Close your kitchen earlier. Make your last food one of these fruits instead of something salty or processed, so your kidneys begin the recovery window with less to clean up. 2. Pick one low-potassium fruit already in your kitchen: blueberries, strawberries, and apple. Eat a small portion about an hour before bed. 3. If you want the full benefit, make the nighttime kidney blend blueberries, strawberries, a splash of cranberry or tart cherry, plain kefir, cinnamon. 4. Add a 10-minute walk after dinner. It helps bring blood pressure down before the overnight window opens, and your blood pressure is the single biggest lever you hold over your kidney health. 5. If you carry a kidney disease diagnosis or take blood pressure or potassium medication, write down one question for your doctor this week. Which fruits are safe with my current potassium levels? That single question tells you exactly which items on this list are yours. Now, eating the right fruit at night is one lever, but there is another one most people over 60 have never had checked. A single marker on a standard blood panel that quietly signals kidney trouble years before your creatinine ever moves. Most doctors will not bring it up unless you ask. In my next video, I will tell you what that marker is, how to request it by name, and what to do if yours is heading the wrong direction.